Hey, and as for the paint trays, don't put too much paint in there. Just put it, you know, I fill up the bottom and raise it up just a little bit. I don't try to do it so heavy that it's hard to balance and bring it in here, because that's what the lines are for, is to make it even on your roller. So I just put it in the bottom and up just a hair higher than that, to where it comes out a little bit, and then I just do a little bit, and then when I need more, I do more. So that one pan did from here to about there. It didn't take me very long. All I want to do is show you the little specks. You see all those little white specks? That came off the roller, okay, as I'm rolling. And that's what happens too on top of the edge of the baseboard. That's why I had to put that masking tape down there. And like I said, before I pull the masking tape up, I'm not gonna, I hit the roller a couple times in the masking tape, but I try to go down and try not to hit it the best I can, because I don't want to build that edge up too much, okay? And then once this all dries, when I get ready to cut in, then I'll cut in and try to concentrate, just cutting in down to the masking tape line. I'm not going to just spooge it all in there and blow and go, and because the paint's going to weep out from underneath the masking tape. I don't care what kind of masking tape you put. This is cheapo masking tape. If you got blue tape, green tape, frog tape, yellow tape, pink tape, I don't care what kind of tape you have, it's going to weep through, because there's spray texture on the walls. The only way you'll get perfectly tight, crisp lines is if you have smooth wall finish. Do you see what I mean? We don't have that here. Okay, so just showing you all the droplets, and see all those droplets. It's just from the wall. Can you imagine if I don't cover the bathroom floor properly, the countertop properly, the toilet, the sink faucets, the bathtub? Do you see that all those little granules are going to come down? That's why I'm gonna do a good job putting some craft paper here, putting the craft paper down on the floor, and on this floor, because it's up on the ceiling, I'm not going to just slide it over, okay? Because there's too much stuff in the way, and so I'll put it down. I'll just tape it down to the floor. Okay, and I'll put a little piece in the tub, and I'll do something around the top edge too. And then when I get all done, I might even wipe the top edge. I might wipe this edge right here with the sponge, and that edge along there, this edge, because I'm just going to put the craft paper down in there, and then I might put some masking tape over this edge, over this edge, over that, over this little bit, or I can take one piece of craft paper and just take it from here and go like that. You know what I mean? Or if the piece is long enough, I can fit it in there and kind of push down on it, and then just let it angle up like that. Now, all kinds of different things you can do with craft paper, and I've just got my staging area right here, and I can tell whether or not if I dripped any paint or anything like that. I can wipe it up. I can see it on the craft paper. I can see it on the craft paper when I'm walking around, sliding the tray, the paint tray around, and all that. And I just take my time. It's not a race. I'm not racing anybody. Are you? And the more you do, the better you get. That's just how it works. Okay? And man, I'm glad I got 2 gallons. Remember I said I might have 3/4 of a gallon left, 7/8, maybe even a whole gallon. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to have maybe, after cut in, maybe 1/4 of a gallon left to 1/3. That's my guess, just based on how it's going. And see, the other thing is I'm putting an eggshell on a flat surface. That's the other thing. Some of it goes on it takes a little bit extra paint to put it on there. Whereas if all of these existing walls were an eggshell, and then if I put a coat of eggshell over it, let's say, then the paint would go further. Does that make sense? Okay, so, but I'm pretty sure 2 gallons, I'm still going to have plenty. I mean, worst case scenario, what could I do worst case scenario? Okay, I know for a fact I'm not going to need a whole gallon of semi-gloss paint for just this little kitchen and the bathroom. Worst case scenario, I guess I could put semi-gloss paint just on that one wall, or you know what I mean? I mean, there's different options that I have, but I don't think I'm going to have to do that at all. All right, back to work I go. I guess I should show you a little bit of me painting, huh? And this is a good place because the light, there's plenty of light here. After telling you to make sure to put masking tape on, I started and I didn't have masking tape on that one. I thought, so I put masking tape on the electrical outlets here and the light switches, and I'll have to do that in the other room too. Okay, but I just want to show you just a little bit, okay, just a little bit of what I'm doing. And with the 6-inch roller, I've got this shoved over here. I'm standing on the carpet. This is all I need because I'm only working right here, right? And so I just pick up a little bit of paint. I just pick up a little bit, and then I get it all on my roller. Okay, that's what those ridges are for. The ridges aren't so that you can fill this whole thing up and then hardly be able to get your paint roller in there at all. Okay. I first take a little bit of paint off before I go down to the baseboard. I don't want a full roller when I get down to the base, you see what I mean? As well as up at the top. And I can see the top. I still have to be careful, and then I just blend it back in before I go any further. I could do it I could have done another swipe, let's say. And I'm getting myself caught up into the corner, but I can do it. One more edge if I just back up. Okay, and you'll have to learn how to use the roller different ways. See. Now, before I build that, before I flow that in, I'm going to do over here. So now I'm going to have to go in the corner, and now I'm using my right hand in the front, whereas usually I have my right hand in the back, only because I have to right here, right? And I'm gonna just grab me a little bit more, and I can grab it just on the front edge, if so. And I have to be really careful to make sure I don't get any holidays. Holidays is when you think you've got your wall covered, and when it dries, you see little bits peeking out that you missed, and you're like, how on earth did I miss that? Because the nap should have went in through the spray texture, or the spray texture knockdown, or the skip trowel, or whatever it is. You just have to be careful, because see, this color is slightly different than what was on the original wall, remember? And so there's that. Now I can leave that. I can leave the craft paper exactly where it's at if I want, and then I can go like this. See, now I'm working over myself, and I'm going to have to put my foot over here. And if there's any wetness on there, now I've got it on my foot. So really, the best thing to do would be for me to slide this out of the way. My donut box, get my craft paper, and slide it over. Now most of these little spits of paint are dry. Okay, I have not spilled any paint yet on here. Okay, now I can just get myself kind of situated. Put this over here. Put this up there, like that. Okay, I'm ready to go. Right? Let's. I'm gonna move you. We're gonna just move you over here. I'll show you a little bit more here. Okay? How's that? And granted, you're not going to get from floor to ceiling. I mainly want you to see me dipping into the paint. Okay? And I'm getting it up there. I just want to get the roller covered with paint. But I don't want to get too much on there and slop it up on the wall and stuff. Yeah, you can twizzle this a little bit if you think you get too much on there. So I'm going to start about right there. That's because I don't want too much paint on my roller when I go down to the base. Now down here, if I wanted to, I could get down on my hands and knees if I want and go that way. And I'm not trying to go all the way down, but with this roller, I should be able to almost go all the way down. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I like to get each row done before I go just halfway or anything like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here. I gotta make sure on my right shoulder I don't get too close to the wall. If I touch it, I've got paint all over my shirt, right? Okay, now I've got that. Now I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back from bottom to top. Top to bottom, bottom to top. And I'm just gonna, nice even strokes. I'm not gonna try to squeeze this and try to get one more little bit of paint out on there because now I've just taken it off my roller and I've got to put more on anyways. So you'll get a happy medium, you know, of how much you can do. See, I'm going almost from top to bottom. Now I can go back down towards the base, and I can go up here because I don't have as much paint on my roller. See? And now I'm going from top to bottom. I mean, have you seen anything I've been doing? Is there anything hard about this? I ask. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. So when you're painting, you know, painting's the fun part. Painting's the easiest part. When you know what you're doing, it's all prep and stuff that's the hard part that takes a while. Now I'm going to use my frame, and I want to make sure there's no paint per se on the edge of that frame up against the window. And see, I can just barely, I'm not really hitting it. If that was thicker, I could use the frame and go up. But see, it's not. So I can flip it around, and now I can see it easier. And I can go up there. I'm an inch away, and I don't want a whole lot of paint on there because I'll create an edge. And I don't want an edge right there, right? When I cut in, then I've got a paint edge there because I had too much paint on my roller. Okay, so now I'm gonna top to bottom, nice even strokes. the same pressure on here, pretty much. Okay, it's like that. Now this next area here, I put masking tape over that heater. Okay, and where the see, I did the paint too fast, just that little bit, got a little bit of paint on there, I see it, and so I'll have to be careful with that, and that'll dry here in a minute. Okay, now this, I could go on my hands and knees, and I could go like that. This whole section right here, as a matter of fact, I can go this way. Is there a law that says you have to paint vertically all the time? No. I can go this way. Now I can put the paint frame right down to the bottom, can I? It's hitting the masking tape, and I've got a nice straight line there that's only about an inch or so away. And right here, now see that trims, it seems like I'm hitting it, right? Okay. For some reason, that side, it didn't seem like I was. Okay, so now before I go any further, I'm going to blend this in. See what I mean? Now I flip it over. I just flip it over sometimes if I want. Okay. And I'm going to have to slide that over, but before I do that, I want to get above the window. This part would be tricky with the 9-inch roller cover, because there's not much stuff up there. I got a piece of masking tape up there on top of the window. Okay, and I don't want to get too much paint there, and I'm just going to go a little top bottom, slide it over. And if I have a question on the top, I don't want to go up so high that I'm gonna hit it. You know what I mean? If I got to leave it an inch and a quarter, inch and a half, rather than 3/4, so be it. Right? So be it. Okay? That's all the further I'm going to go. I'm not going to try to stretch the paint out on my roller cover. I'm going to go back. I'm going to just slide this along so I get nice even coverage, covering up all my spray texture, my skip trowel texture. No holidays for me. Boom. Whew. Okay. Now before I go any further, guess what? I gotta move my craft paper, my drop, and it's just not that hard to do stuff like this. Now see, I might have to get down on my hands and knees or move it, or I can just take my foot. See? And making sure I see where I stopped, and I'm going to go. I want to have good overage in case it spits off to the right or something. I don't have to go all the way over to the end if I've got a question about it. So now I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to do it sideways, just like before, right? Just like before. I'm going to just put this over here, because this is my only drop. Do I really need another drop? Any more drop than this? No. Okay. I'm just working on my hands and knees now. Okay. Now I'm just going to go to the edge of the window, because from there I'm going to go vertically, and I won't have to do it like this anymore. Okay. Now I'm going to load up a little bit more paint, and I'm going to put my paint frame down and just let it run on there. It gives me a nice straight edge, doesn't it? Okay. Now I'm going to blend all that in. When I get up here, I'm going to flip this over that way, gently, in case my metal frame slips off the trim. Okay, and that's it. Okay, and I'm just going to make sure there's no edge right there when I get ready to start painting vertically right there. Okay, now now I gotta get up above that window again. So it's all, you know, when you're all set up and you've got enough room, and see, I don't need to have this whole bedroom cleared of all the furniture. I've only got 4 feet over here that I can work at, but I can do it, can't I? Now this, I can slide it. I can slide it like that if I want, and then I can get a little bit more paint. I don't have to get this paint so it's dripping off my roller. My word, I don't have to do that. Okay, now I can go back down to the top, and I can just hit the masking tape there, because that masking tape above the door frame, that trim, I've got it on the drywall there, because when I get done, before I cut in, I'll pull that masking tape off. Then I can take my paintbrush and cut right on down. You see what I mean? But for the baseboard, I couldn't do that for the reasons why I was explaining prior. Okay. Well, okay. A worst case scenario, if I hit the trim, then I've got my water, I've got my sponge, I get up there, wipe it off, and away you go. Now I'm just blending it back in. I could have gotten up on my little ladder and I could have ran this sideways. I could have taken this off the pole, for instance, and done it. I try to remove that as few times as possible. Okay, I always like to try to figure out how can I use the roller in a way to where I don't have to take the extension pole off. And funny, the extension pole, it's just the broom handle. That's all. I can't tell you how many home improvement shows I see where they're in there just with this, painting like this. You don't do that. That's so lame. You get it all in your hands. You can't reach from top to bottom. You can't make it flow properly from the top of the wall to the bottom of the wall. You know, just use it. Use your broom handle as an extension pole. And very nice, very easy. Okay. It saves on your back as well. Okay. I might blend that up for the area that was going sideways. Okay, now I'll grab some more paint. I'm just grabbing a little paint. Now, as I remember, that trim is kind of tricky there, so I'm gonna use this side, and I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go up as close as I think. Don't try to get so close that you know, you start getting all wiggy about it. Because all that I can cut in with the paintbrush. Okay. I don't want to get it too far away though. And I don't want too much buildup on the end of my roller cover to not make a line. Remember, I gotta be mindful of that on my own. See, if I'm standing here like this, I could do this whole wall, close my eyes, and just lift it up to there, knowing that I'm not going to hit anything. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more paint on here. One more row, let's say. Okay, let's get out this far. Okay, and get down at the bottom before I blend it all back in. This section, see, from about a foot from the window, top or bottom to the top. Bottom, up to the top, down to the bottom, up to the top. You see? There. Now I got a TV in my way. I'm just going to have to go underneath it, do the best I can. I got my butt right up against the wall. And I kind of like going from right to left because I'm right-handed. You see what I mean? And from right to left on a wall. But sometimes I go from left to right if I have to. Or I finish off my wall with my right hand down at the bottom instead of my left hand. I think you can see that. I've got all the paint out of here, and I don't know if I have enough. If I don't have enough, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to sweat it. I'm not going to try to thin the paint out by squeezing every single little bit out of my roller, because I got more wall to do, right? So I'm just not going to do that. That's it. I'm not going to go all the way. And now I go from right to left. I don't go from left to right there. I go from where I ended and beyond, just so that I know it's blended in properly. Okay? Boom. All right, there's your little lesson. I've got to go get some more paint. And I've got this section, I got the other wall to do, and pretty soon I'll be done with this room. Okay? Yeah. Hey, I tell people I'm just an average Joe. If I can do it, you can do it.